Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with
Michael Anthony Fitness.
And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe B Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Well, always tell me, don't quit your day job, so we're off to go sand some drywall and get ready to do some painting in the next couple of days. So, we are in a bit of a conundrum with David Irving. David Irving, of course, didn't show up for his drug test, and that was not the brightest thing in the world. But we may have somebody to help fill in, and that's Randy Gregory. We all know that he's gone through the NFL, had his meeting with the commissioner, had a 2,000-page report, has shown up for his drug tests, and has passed them. He's had players that have gone through, from Sean Lee, Tyrone Crawford, Jeff Heath, and things that have, said that, hey, he's good, man. We'd like to have him back. He's a good teammate. Let's see about getting him reinstated. And I believe he will be reinstated. What do you think?
He might. But is it too late?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, man, we're going to have Randy Gregory, man. He's going to be lights out and everything. And I just say,
too late.
I just said, pump the brakes on that. So here's the thing.
My question is he out of shape?
Well, out of shape, right, because playing from zero to the NFL is a big step up. And we're talking about a guy who had one sack in his career. Now, granted, he missed a lot of time because of suspensions and things, because of failed drug tests or missing drug tests and things. But you have to tamp your expectations down some. So people are like, oh, he'll get 8 sacks. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see him have 8 sacks.
That's unlikely.
But
very unlikely.
First thing, he's got to be getting in shape, up to speed on the plays, because here it is, you've already had OTAs and minicamp. And football is not like when I grew up. When I grew up, we started like 1st of August in high school. And we even went away for camp for a week where we had 3 practices a day. And we were hitting like crazy every single day. You got in shape in camp. You got the whole playbook in camp. In college, it was the same thing. College, oh my God. Coach Brzezicki at JMU ran it like a boot camp. I mean, we were up on the field at 7 o'clock, and we had brunch after. We didn't even eat breakfast before practice. And while we're eating breakfast, we're sitting here watching film. And then we're having a special team practice. And then we got weight training. And then we've got, practice in the evening. Then we got film breakdown at the end of the day. So you're getting all of this information and stuff blitzed at you. And the Cowboys players in OTAs and minicamp have been blitzed already with a lot of the work that goes into, the game plan. Now, defensive end is not as complicated as, say, guard. But you're talking about a guy who hasn't really played for 2 years. Yeah, he had 2 games in 2016. That's it. And when we look at a guy like, say, Greg Hardy, who was an established player, who had a 15-sack season, got suspended after the first game where he got 1 sack that first game. When he came back for us, he only got 6 sacks. Now, granted, that was, 4 games he missed because of suspension to begin the season. But there was a major drop-off. It takes time for your body to get back into football shape. I don't care how much you run. I don't care how much you bike and everything else and do drills. There's a big difference of actually being out there on the field and hitting and being in football shape. So I'm pretty sure he will get reinstated before training camp. But you got to tamp down expectations. And I do believe that part of his problem has been the expectations. Wouldn't you agree with that?
That's a lot of players.
Well, this is one of those things that bothers me is we anoint guys right out of college before they even had their first practice as the next
Charles Haley,
or the next, Drew Pearson, or the next DeMarcus Ware. To go ahead and come out and say, you're going to be 94, like Hall of Fame Charles Haley, and you're going to be the next Charles Haley, that puts a whole lot of pressure on a guy. And don't get me wrong, because he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. He came out and he got a tattoo star. Didn't he? I think he did get a tattoo star immediately upon being drafted, which is something players don't normally do. If you notice what players do, listen very carefully to how they respond when asked questions. They don't say, my team. Very, very rarely will you ever hear my team anymore. You know why that is?
To the free agency?
It is. Because it's a job. They don't take ownership of a team.
It's a 1099.
Right. I'm
1099.
I am a free agent. I am a hired gun. I'm here as long as you will pay me, and
That's what,
I am not necessarily loyal to you or beyond the paycheck. You know, and it amazes me because when we talked with DeMario came over to our house for dinner. DeMario Davis, incredible guy. We'd like to have him for a linebacker. He's been a Jet. Originally drafted by the Jets, although they let him go to Cleveland, which maybe that's part of the reason why his narrative kind of changed. But talking to him, I was like, okay, what do you think is going to happen with the Jets? He said, well, they're going to have to pay me or I'll go elsewhere. And it's kind of like you're not really tied to it. It's the bottom line is I'm doing the job. I'm not necessarily a Cowboy or a Jet or a Saint or a Bronco. I'm a football player that gets paid, and I'm not loyal to the team, which is totally different than what went on in my day. You were a Dallas Cowboy, you hated the Redskins. Screw those guys. But Randy Gregory came out and immediately tattooed himself with a Dallas Cowboy star. So it's not that he didn't want to be a Dallas Cowboy, but I don't think we need to put those expectations and that pressure on him. Let's wait till he has a 10-sack season and say, you know, you got to look a little like Charles Haley before we start doing that. We'll have to wait and see. All right, you think if he gets reinstated that we're going to get much out of him?
To be seen.
To be seen. Okay, the jury's out.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
The man has been out of football for how long?
Right, and has had
because of his own doing.
Career. Yeah. I mean, he's shown flashes. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, but he hasn't played football in how long?
Right.
And he's going to be in shape.
This is true. Will he be in shape? But again, you don't get in shape, and of course, you've still got to learn.
And you have a new defense too, with Chris Richard.
Well, yes and no. That he's Well, it's still basically the same kind of defense. It's just going to be more aggressive, hopefully. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But as always, guys, thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. We'll see you soon.